Do guys like when a girl asks him out? It's time to help a lover out. Kindly give this video a like and subscribe for more videos like this. As someone who is naturally pretty straightforward, especially when it comes to dating, I've never really had an issue with asking a man out on a date. Sadly, despite the progress we've made on equality, this doesn't seem to be the norm. More often than not, I'm told by other people, often women, that I should act coy, play the game, or be mysterious, because men respond better to a woman who plays hard to get. If a man doesn't like the fact that you've had the courage to ask him out, he's not a man worth dating. Throughout Western history, tradition has dictated that the man be the one who initiates the romance. From rom-coms where women sit around waiting for the man to call, to school dances, where the guy has to ask the girl to be his date. Personally, I've found that being the one who makes the first move can be empowering, and most of the men I've dated have appreciated the direct approach. It's even been a turn-on for some of them. To prove my point, I asked 14 men to tell me why they'd like more women to initiate a date, and how they'd like us to do it. Troy, 30, London. It's quite refreshing when a girl asks you out on a date. Dating has changed loads in the last few years, and there's no longer the same kind of formality. How the women do it doesn't really make much of a difference to me, just keep it casual. You want things to be as natural as possible, so you shouldn't be waiting for me to ask you. If you're keen, put it out there. Geordie, 36, London. I'm one of those people who loves organizing cool dates, but I'm also a huge fan of women taking control and initiating the date. Especially when there's some real thought behind the date, and she's considered things we've discussed. I really like a strong-minded woman. I'm happy when she just tells me a time and a place, without giving me 45 options to wade through, or expecting me to organize it all the time. Picture, Getty, Ella Byworth, Bill, 27, London. Socially, men have always been seen as the ones to take control and arrange the date. To have the woman take control can be very seductive. Style it as though you're giving the man a choice, when really, there isn't one. For instance, say, there's a bar in this area and 6:30 p.m. on Friday would be a good time to meet. Sam, 30, London. I'd say it's nice if there's a cheeky ask, but no pressure. Forcing me into meeting would get me along, but I'd feel trapped inside my own head at the slightest small thing that we disagree on. I hate when a woman says, "You love it," about teasing me. If I loved it, you'd know all about it. Liam, 26, Liverpool. Yeah, I like it when women initiate the date, because it saves me having to do it. Just come up and chat. James, 36, London. By asking me out on a date, it shows that she isn't bound by and doesn't adhere to traditional gender roles, and that's the kind of woman I want to date. It's a really good indicator that the woman is into you. There is so much game playing going on, and people who are upfront are really attractive, regardless of gender. It's sexy when someone is into you. As for how, don't beat around the bush, just put it out there. Your willingness to be direct shows that you are open, and that you've risked rejection. That's very hot, too. Sean, 36, Liverpool. I've been dating various women online for some months now, and I've always liked it when they start the conversations, but I get even more excited when they suggest a first date. How should they do it? Just be clear as you think you can be, and take into account that some form of flirting and seduction should be involved. Picture, Ella Byworth for metro.co.uk, Solomon, 25, India. Men and women are equal, and we should get rid of stereotypes. It would be great if more women initiated dates. One or two poetic lines in a text is enough. Arman, 23, Sweden. Women should ask men for dates, because that is what equality stands for, breaking conservative traditions. It's easier with men. We prefer simplicity, just a, "Would you want to go out sometime?" sounds about right to me. Often, I'm the one making the move. Although, nowadays offline dating invitations are pretty much gone. Jimmy, 30, London. A lot of men prefer women to initiate dates because, rightly or wrongly, a lot of us like to convince ourselves that the fact these women are forward in their approach means they might well be more game. Hugo, 26, London. There's a lot of pressure on men to initiate conversations or make the initial move to ask a girl out, which, to be honest, is somewhat stressful. I think guys would be pleased to have a girl ask them out, which in my own personal experience doesn't happen often at all. It would certainly be against the norm and generally a pleasant thing to hear. Richard, 29, Gateshead. I'd probably say yes if a woman asked me out. A lot of people are nervous about dating. And loads of them have social anxiety. All the kids are buried in their phones and game consoles, and no one has a lot of real social interaction anymore. So, if a lass came along and broke the ice, you'd probably feel a lot more comfortable. Jack, 27, Newcastle. From a guy's perspective, it's nice. It shows that someone is interested, and as someone who is pretty terrible at noticing the signs, it would be great if she made the first move. Just breaking the ice will do it. If the conversation is flowing, then we're onto a winner. Calvin, 34, London. Women and men are equal, and it doesn't really matter who asks. If you fancy someone, you should have the confidence to ask them out, or you might lose the opportunity and never see that person again. Would you ask a guy out? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can continue making videos like this for you.